Quartering's mad again. Malding about how this is weird. I have two different titles here, but this is about the Batwoman. Pretty sure. Let me refresh. So
I need you to fix
they've got a new Batwoman
The suit is literal
show.
perfection.
It will be.
Will you pause? Thank you. And she's black. She's bisexual. She's a woman, but that goes with the name. And this, of course, is showing how Batwoman is going woke. So, of course, according to Jeremy, it's going to go broke. Let's see how that goes. Jeremy, take it away.
I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits
Black.
a woman.
What an awful fucking edit. Holy shit.
What?
I can't wait to hear his justification as to why this is a bad Batwoman, given we haven't seen anything about the show.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and finally, we have a Batwoman replacement, and ooh, doesn't check all of the boxes. Now, just want to give you a brief history of how we got here. Now, I covered Batwoman quite a bit last year, a show that was plagued by some of the worst writing I've ever seen. Sure, it relied on a lot of the my God, we're super woke, please watch our show Slay Queen marketing, and never really materialized into a consistent audience. We've seen this play out time and time and time again. A very specific example.
So, it's worth pointing out that oftentimes people like Jeremy here will criticize something for going woke, and then when it doesn't do well, claims go woke, go broke, and that ignores all the times when something which he also claimed was woke did not go broke and made millions, if not billions of dollars. So he's not exactly on the money here with his descriptions of things. Now, I'm not a big TV show watcher, so I didn't watch Batwoman. But I didn't hear much about it, which kind of lends credence to the fact that it probably wasn't very good. And if something isn't very good, then it doesn't matter how woke it is, it's not going to do well. Whereas if something is good, it also doesn't matter how woke it is, although being woke will help it.
How about the latest run of Doctor Who on BBC, which ran on the "We have a woman Doctor Who, please watch our show."
And I've also heard that the female Doctor season of Doctor Who was not good. Not because it was a woman, but because it had some pretty poor writing. And frankly, I used to be a big Doctor Who fan. I've watched I haven't watched much classic Who because I have a hard time getting into it, which is probably a failing on my part. But I've watched the Eccleston season multiple times. I love the Tennant series. And I watched the Matt Smith years were pretty good. But I had a real issue with the fact that the protagonist for many of the Matt Smith episodes seemed to less be the Doctor and be Amy Pond. And so I kind of fell off during the Capaldi season. Although I liked a lot of what Capaldi did. Just a lot of his episodes were kind of wonky. And I just completely stopped caring by about the middle of the Capaldi season, so I haven't watched any of the latest season. But from what I've heard from people who have watched it, it's not good. It's bad writing, bad stories. It doesn't matter that the Doctor is a woman. That's not a part of it. It's that it's not good writing. So again, it doesn't matter how woke something is if it's not good.
Also was plagued by terrible writing, which led to the worst ratings in over 20 years for the show. We can look at Batwoman, which had an absolute huge amount, massive amount of early interest, peaking at 1.86 million viewers on their debut episode, but it did nothing but decline for the entirety of the show, showing barely any ability to increase the existing audience outside of the crossover events that it had with the other shows in the Arrowverse, ending with a pathetic 739,000 viewers in its finale. I mean, shoot, I get more viewers than that every day in my basement. I mean, I'm just saying, and I've got zero budget, well, close to zero. I mean, I've got to buy, sugar-free Red Bull and pay an editor once in a while. But outside of that, it was just bad writing. Great concept. Batwoman would have been a decent show had it had, I don't know, actual writing. There were times when it started at 1.86 million. There were times that it had just 630,000 viewers, losing 2/3 of its audience. Why do you lose that much of an audience? It's simple. Bad writing, bad choreography, bad acting.
So they're trying something different with the new season. Trying something. Granted, it does seem a little bit pandering to go with a black Batwoman, but I mean, it seems like they don't really have much to lose here.
That's why you lose it. You don't lose it because people are against the main character being a member of the LGBTQ community. They wouldn't have been here in the first place. And by the way, just to put things in perspective, 1 to 2 million viewers is all any show on the Arrowverse gets. So ultimately, it would have been deemed a success had it not been circling the drain. Now, we saw the end of the show come around, and Ruby Rose quit. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be tied to that disaster either. But CW fans were stunned when it was announced last week that Ruby Rose would be leaving Batwoman. It's a big deal because she's the one playing Batwoman. The announcement came just after season 1 finale, with season 2 greenlit a long time ago, so why would she just walk away? It's not due to health concerns. Rose recently suffered a severe back injury or harassment. Rose was previously chased off Twitter for being a lesbian actress. That's an unfavorable representation of what happened. She was chased off by her own woke people, by the way. I think they were saying she wasn't gay enough, but rather something more basic. Variety sources say that...
I don't know about how... Let me look into that. Okay. I haven't read half of anything. As the lead of CW's upcoming series, shook plays Rose from seemingly all sides. After she's announced the start of CW's upcoming Batwoman series, Ruby Rose has been chased off of Twitter by the backlash. Those were historic. Kate Kane will be TV's first openly gay superhero, and for many it was a relief to know that the actress playing her would not be straight. Everyone was satisfied, and those who aren't have been vocal about their displeasure. From all sides. On one hand, those who object to Batwoman's identity in the show as a Jewish lesbian, even though this iteration of Batwoman came out more than a decade ago in the comics that inspired the series, controversy has arisen within the queer community as well for a wide-ranging list of reasons. Twitter users have attacked Rose's acting skills, pointed out she's not Jewish and that she identifies as gender fluid rather than strictly as a lesbian. Okay. It has to be the funny, Rose wrote in her last message on Twitter. Came out at 12, and I have for the past 5 years had to deal with she's too gay. I don't Okay. So it sounds like what happened is a bunch of uh, this is so fucking inside baseball making sausage of woke Twitter or LGBT Twitter, left Twitter, that um a lot of lesbians have an issue with gender fluid people. You may have seen something about bi pan lesbians. That is lesbians, women who are attracted to other women who also are occasionally attracted to non women, non binary people, gender fluid men. Uh, they exist and are valid because sexuality is a spectrum. It's not a modal thing. So it looks like what a lot of people, a lot of these kind of turf people did, because there's definitely some overlap there with turfs. Rose, since she's gender fluid but still use feminine pronouns, isn't really a lesbian because she's not 100% identifying as a woman. Gender fluid means that you may feel more or less man or woman day to day. Fuck off. So it does look like there was a lot of harassment from people who should have been her allies. So unfortunately, it looks like Jeremy was a little bit correct there.
Ruby Rose was not thrilled with the long hours required as a series lead, which led to friction on set. CW shows do run longer than most series these days, and Batwoman specifically is a show that obviously shoots a lot at night, which can no doubt be disorientating. And yet the counter to this is, I mean, you're a lead in the TV show, long hours are sort of how it goes, and she clearly wasn't only cast or crew member working this long, so it's possible perhaps there was more going on here, but this is the reason stated. Rose's departure is a big deal for her show that Batwoman
Okay,
will
you're
have
just gonna
no
read the
search. They will again cast an actor for the role. You make sure you hire the you're worried about their person.
So, from what I understand, Cassandra Cain is gay. That is her, or Kate Cain, excuse me, is gay. So, it'd be ideal to cast a gay woman for the role. So,
The John Wick film, I think, right? She is mediocre at best in that, but you know, her acting was not why the show failed. It was the writing, and regardless of what all the defenders on Twitter would say. Now they have announced that they have replaced her, and woo boy, are we checking a lot of boxes. We have an actress that is basically unknown to most of us. Batwoman has found a new series with Javicia Leslie, or Javicia, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, to step into the cape and cowl for the show's upcoming second season. Quote, I'm extremely proud to be the first black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television, and as a bisexual woman, I'm honored to join this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community, Leslie said. There you have it again. We're still only worried. You're still only worried about who they lay in bed with. I mean, I sincerely hope that you're interested in, you know, a good.
holy shit, Jeremy. Have some pride in your work and make sure that what you're reading is actually all on the screen before you hit the record button.
Actress? When I looked up her Twitter account, I don't even know if this is her, but I mean, she's a beautiful woman. I don't know if she can act. If this is her Twitter account, she only has 10,000 followers and isn't very active. If I look at her Instagram, I see her sporting feminism socks, which are feminist socks. So that's good to see. We've got the pride flag. We've got everything that you would expect to see from from a particular actress being cast for their orientation, seemingly exclusively. Now,
You don't know that, and it does look like she was in some show. Let's look, shall we? Okay. So she's been in a couple of short films. Looks like um, I'm guessing independent films. She was on a show called Chef Julian. Swim at your own risk. Yeah, she was in an episode of MacGyver. 2 episodes actually. The Family Business main cast. Okay. So, The Family Business, an American crime family drama created by Carl Weber, based on his best-selling crime drama book series. BET produces an 8-episode limited series in 2018. Okay. Paris is the youngest daughter of the Duncan family, a glamorous, spoiled party girl who always gets what she wants and knows how to handle herself in any situation, knows how to handle a gun. Okay. So let me look at. It's got to have a link to. Oh, is it not aired? Wait. Yeah. Okay. Let me pull up her IMDb. Okay. So The Family Business. 6.0 out of 10. Eh. But it got picked up for a second season, so that means it was at least fairly popular. Let me see. I don't think they do ratings for individuals yet on IMDb, but okay. Um, I mean, sure. Seems like you could do a little bit of research before doing this video to find out what kind of actress she was like in the shows she's been in. But you're just gonna go with. Of course, that would take away from his turning on the camera and making 10-minute videos to feed the algorithm.
again, I don't think that Batwoman failed because Rose was a bad actress. I don't think that's the case. Now, Leslie will portray the new character in the show on the show named Ryan Wilder. She is described as likable, messy, and a little goofy, and untamed. She's also nothing like Kate Kane, previously played by Ruby Rose, the woman who wore the Batsuit before her. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years being a naughty girl. Today, Ryan lives near her in her van with her plant, a girl who would steal milk for an alley cat and could also end you with her bare hands. Ryan is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined. She is an out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero. I mean, who wrote this? I mean, I'm expecting to see quote marks around it, but there are none. Like, Variety wrote that. Variety is shilling for this show.
They probably were given a description and they just sort of rewrote it a little bit. Like, do you not understand how these kind of press junkets work? Like, they pass out a description, and Variety is obviously not quoting anything here, but because otherwise there would be quotes. But I mean, that's her description. What? Yeah, it's a little goofy, a little uh I don't know that I would consider a wildly undisciplined person the most dangerous type of fighter, except maybe to anyone who's also on her side. But yeah, this sounds like your typical punching up of a character in a press release.
That, by the way, sucks. All right? Now, I admit and understand that clearly Batwoman is not for me. In fact, most of the marketing around the show has explicitly told me that. And that's okay. Not every show needs to be for everyone. However, the comic book industry, that I cover, it's interesting to me that, you wonder, is this going to sell comic books? No. Now.
So this is what Jeremy does. He assumes that he is the only demographic that these game and comic book industries even care about going after, when clearly this is an attempt to draw in a different audience. It's like clearly a pandering attempt to bring in a different kind of audience. And while as a leftist, I wish that they did this kind of thing more sincerely, more genuinely, the fact that they're giving a relatively unknown young black woman a shot at the starring role in a major TV show, and especially a show that, if I had to guess, needs to do well this season or it's not coming back for a third season, I support this. Yeah, the description here is kind of weird, kind of goofy. But what do you expect from something that's trying to punch up a show that didn't do well? They're trying to appeal to a certain demographic. And that demographic is not hairy 30-something white dudes who think that video games were better in the 90s when it was when it was a boy's world. They're trying to bring in young, female, non-gender conforming, sexuality conforming people into the culture. I applaud them for that, even if it is just in a clear attempt to draw more people to bring up flagging numbers.
Leslie takes over, leading the series from Rose, who shocked fans when she announced her departure in May. And Ruby Rose says, "This is amazing. I'm so glad Batwoman will be played by an amazing black woman." That's the first thing you see? The first thing you worry about is their skin color.
No. She's just pointing out that it's diversifying the cast. From what I remember the Arrowverse, it's pretty fucking white. Now, I haven't watched... I watched like the first season and a half of The Flash and got bored with it. I've watched a little bit of The Arrow. And what I've seen, it's pretty fucking white. So they're diversifying the cast. This is a good thing. It's not the first thing they see is the skin color, but she's just pointing out that it's being played, that the new Batwoman is helping to diversify the cast and hopefully bring more people into the world.
I don't get this mindset. I wanted to congratulate her on taking over the Batcape. You were walking into an amazing
Also,
casting.
this is the typical I don't see color attitude that a lot of people have, which is a problem because if you don't see color, then you can't see a problem when there is when you can't see a pattern when there's an issue.
And crew, I can't wait to watch season 2. You're going to be amazing. Hey, maybe she will be. I mean, prior to being in Batwoman, she starred on the CBS series God Friended Me, which aired for 2 seasons. The show was produced by Warner Brothers Television. She also starred in the BET series The Family Business and the film Always a Bridesmaid. So she's got a couple of things on her under her belt. She is rep by Nobody Cares. Batwoman is produced by the Berlanti Productions and associated with Warner Brothers. The show is scheduled to return in January on Sunday nights. Now, I suspect we will see another small spike in the initial ratings. I don't think, look, obviously they're going to recast the role. They really didn't have any options, but I don't think that this is going to help the show if they don't drastically change the writing. Of course, everybody in the woke community is extremely proud. I'm curious though, how is she playing Batwoman when she's not actually a bat? That's the biggest concern I have. Like, why is this woman taking roles away from bats?
Holy fuck. Really, Jeremy? Why is she taking roles away from Fuck you. You cannot stand the idea that there might be black LGBT women who might be interested in comic books. That just blows your fucking mind, doesn't it, Jeremy? The very idea that women might be interested in the things you are and might want to do the things that you want people to do. It just makes you insane, doesn't it? Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to like, share, and leave a comment because it helps me. Subscribe and ring that bell to help you. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.